Okay. Yeah, so we did functions on Monday. We did loops the week before, and we did if statement. So, is there any issues? Is there any questions? Have you guys practiced it?
Stanley. Stanley here.
Okay, go
Hello, sir.
ahead.
Um, Based on what we've learned so far, my question is going to come like this. Putting together what we've learned from loops, functions, the if statements, and all of that. I try to use it to I'm on a project, and the outcome produces this question I'm about to ask. How do I put these scripts and codes that we have written in the class and most other ones I've written also? How do I put it together and be able to send it to someone? Like, how do I make it into an application or something? That's my major question for now, sir.
Your microphone is unmuted.
Okay, so in any application that you're writing, you always have to begin with what is the purpose of that application. Is that application do calculation? Is that application to do a game? Is that application to do some statistical things? Is that application going to do some data analysis? Is that application going to um, do a web page, website, a web app? There's something called a web application. What is that application going to do? Right
Okay.
now, this course is for data analysis. Now, if you want to write a code, right, that you want to actually do some things, let's say like web, for example, there are different frameworks. So Python has different frameworks that you can use for doing websites. There's Flask. Flask is a framework for web pages or websites, and there's Django.
Two participants entering
Django is
lobby.
a framework for Pythonistas or for Python programmers to do to write their programs. If you want to go into analysis, like data analysis, for example, we're going to use, as time goes on, into what they call the Python data stack, which comprises of NumPy, Matplotlib for plotting your graphs, and then for pandas. Pandas is for data frames, for collecting your things together. Okay. If you want to use games, Bismarck last week, if you heard him, or last class, talked about Pygame. You can use Pygame as an infrastructure.
Notification. What?
So your Pygame is used for writing games with Python. Where we have reached now, we're still in the rudimentary stages. Some people like Bismarck, Tekena, probably Jesu Femi, students like that, they've gone quite far. But for us that are still trying to get our feet wet, you still need to understand some rudiments before you start building proper applications. Okay? And with these proper applications, all these things I'm teaching you, these for statements, if statements, and functions, you need all of that, because when you go into things like Django or things like Flask or things like Pygame, all of them are going to be inside functions. If you don't know your functions, if you don't know all those things, then
Hello, sir. Maybe I've not been able to put what I'm saying straight. For instance, I am a teacher, and in every topic, each week has a topic in the regular curriculum. Now, I sat down from what you have taught us. I put together the topics that are needed for a particular class. For instance, they need word problem, they need topics like LCM, HCM, prime numbers, fraction, Pythagoras, and all of that. I found out that I can write a script for them. But now, how do I, because I run a tutorial center, so I want to see how I can bring this together so that I can use those scripts I've written now, the codes now, to teach children mathematics. And secondly, to also share this particular um, idea as an app, not just like a script now, to some other friends of mine that own schools in this area. So that's why I asked that question, so that I don't want to wait till I finish this course before I start doing some good things with what I'm learning. That is it, sir.
Okay, he has left the call, but he's rejoining now. But you are on the same page with him, and he's on the same page with you. What he said is answers what your explanation is still the same thing. That if you want to, depending on application, what do you want? You want to put in an application form that other people can download or share and then use on their phone
Yes.
to solve their mathematical problems. It's still the same thing, and
Yes.
that's what exactly is saying. That for now at this stage, yes, the knowledge you have now can help you do something, but to now go beyond this level to, okay, you want to put it in an app form or in a web application format, then you need to take extra steps. That's why I started listing some of these steps. He mentioned Flask, he mentioned, some other things, which for now you don't know. So that is still
Okay.
the same thing. You're on the same page.
All right. My second question, which
Yes.
is the last for now. My second question, please. For instance, I want to teach Pythagoras theorem.
Okay.
I was trying it, but
Okay,
I couldn't
fine.
get it.
You have joined the
I
meeting.
said I will ask. Mr. Aleko, are
Okay.
you with me?
Yes, I'm
Stanley,
with you.
does that answer your question?
Yes, you've answered my question, but I want to ask
Is
my
that-
second, which is the last for now. My second question is this, sir. I was trying to look for how to teach Pythagoras with the system, for instance. And I tried it, but I couldn't get how to put like the formula for Pythagoras now is a square plus b square equal to c square, for instance. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get that to work on the PowerShell. So how do I make that work? How do I import? I don't know what to do at that point.
Yeah, well, you already have the formula. You don't need any
Mhm.
you don't need any imports anyway. What you can do is, for you to get c squared, you need a and b, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Hello? So what you do is just say, you just, as the user, input your the opposite, which is your a. Then then the second one, enter your adjacent, which is your b, right? So they've entered their a and b. Then you square it on your inside your own system. That's the processing that comes out. Okay. After you're squaring a and b, you can now say c equals to the square roots. Okay, you might have to import math anyway. Import math. So you say import math, then math dot square root sqrt open paren a squared plus b squared close paren.
Okay.
Have it?
Okay. I was
Then
trying to import.
that's your
I
answer.
did math. Okay. I was trying to do math from math import Pythagoras, and they said there's nothing like that.
No. There's nothing like that.
Okay, so thank you,
Okay,
sir.
please.
So,
In this one, in that
okay.
part, how do I like? For instance, I say on the partial. Sorry, sir. On the partial, I say a equal to 5, for instance, and b equal to 8, for instance. And now I want to get a square plus b square. When I did it, I couldn't really get on the partial now. I couldn't really get it. I don't know, Mr. Leko, if you can help us with that, I will appreciate it.
And did you do
And
A star star
I
two
didn't get it,
plus A star star two
sir.
plus B star star two? Did you do it and it didn't work?
Okay, I was using a the narrow sign, that shift 3 2 times raised to power 2. That was what I was using. It
No,
wasn't
now.
giving me.
No, now.
No, no, that's not star
This
now.
the square is 8, shift 8, and that it has to be 2 times star star no space. A star star 2. That is A squared.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm grateful.
Yes.
I'm
Professor,
grateful. Thank
Okay,
you.
Bismarck. Bismarck.
now it's and I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
My
Okay.
first, my first one has to do with how to create tab menus. Remember the last time when we were creating these games, we created a menu, press 1 for this, press that. So if you want to create a sub menu, or if you want to create a menu without another menu, how will you go about it? I tried it, and after it returned the first menu, it didn't work again because I was using 111. So I believe the application was confused as to which one I was referring to. So I would want you to help me to submit within any application.
If you're using a phone, when you're using this USSD, they don't really have submenus like that. Like, take for example, you want to buy credit, they say enter one for, I don't know, in Naira, we'll say 2,000 Naira for this. In cities, I don't know how much it will be in cities, but in Naira, we have 2,000 Naira for this, 3,000 Naira for this, 3,500, and it goes to like 10, right, or 6. So you choose between 1 and 6. You might have sub menus. So what you can do is you can click one, right? The person inputs one. Then when you input one again, then you now see another menu. Put one for this, two for this, three for this. Then the person inputs one again. Now, what will happen is that let's say your first variable that you use was choice, right? So once you use choice for the first variable, the second variable can be inner choice equals int. You understand? Depending on what variable you want to use, or submenu choice equals so and so, so and so. So then from there, your program will now be like, if submenu choice is 1, do this. If submenu choice is 2, do this. You understand?
I understand. So in that case, if I use a variable for the submenu, the program wouldn't be confused as to which label I'm using. Because remember, the first one we label it 1 dot, especially in the trigonometry application. 1 in the menu, 1, then we say sine, 2
Yes.
cosine, 3
Cosine, 3.
tangent.
Yes.
So in the second one, if I assign it to a different variable and I label it 1 dot, let's say cosecant. I hope you know the other cosecant and those trigonometric addition. So if
Yes.
I
Yes.
the second one, I say 1 cosecant 2 something something 3 something something, the program wouldn't be confused because using 1 2 3 1 2 3.
No, no, no. You won't be confused. Remember, uh, if you're a sighted person will know that, oh, okay, let's say you have one sine, two cosine, three tangent, four other trigonometry functions. So the person now chooses four for other trigonometry functions. Then you now have one arcsine, two arc cosine, three cotangent, something like that, or arc tangent, right? Then you can now say, okay, now those one, two, three that you're giving now for these new choices, you assign it to a different variable so that in your code knows that, okay, these options now is assigned to this variable, not the original variable for the original menu that you had before. So now assigned to a new variable. The user that looks at it will now know that, okay, I chose 4. So the progression in the operations, they know that, okay, I chose 4 for other trigonometry functions. Now a new menu has come out, 1, 2, and 3. The person now knows, okay, I need to choose either 1, 2, and 3. You can even say 4, go back to main menu. So when you choose 4, you now reroute back to the main menu. You know,
Sam,
so that
if I,
Prof,
sir,
Prof, sorry, what you're
one.
explaining now in the actual body of the code, is it not like saying you're creating another level of indentation under the first level of indentation, such that,
Yes.
for example, when you say 4, it takes you to that sub indentation. So maybe this might be if under another set of if or something, kind of conditional statement that is indented under another one.
Yes, or
that's
you can use, okay.
that is what I wanted to say. That you can probably is it possible to nest it inside that if that 4, so that this the other ifs will fall under that fourth the if for option.
Yes,
That's what I
yes, you
thought.
can do that exactly. So once you nest it, and then once you nest it, yes, that's the way you go about it. You can nest it, or you can put it in a function. So it has its own function, but it's also nested inside that if.
Yes.
Okay. So based on that, how do you create event loops? So you want the application to be cancelled or you want to exit it. How do you create that?
So with that, you can use the break. That's why all those break are there. All those break, using the break, because it's going to be inside the loop. So you break inside the loop.
And then you can also use exit.
And I can also use exit exactly.
So you can say if choice equals 4, the exit.
Exit, open
Also,
paren, close paren, and you will
open
exit.
parent, close parent.
Okay. I said I have a couple of, so let me continue.
Is that all?
No. So uh, so in the guess game that with our own, we realized that after some few the system broke, but I was expecting it to return after several attempts. So how do we? Okay, so let me break it down. So in the temperature conversion application, so my menus are: 1, convert from degree Fahrenheit to Celsius; 2, convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Now after I press option 1 for a particular conversion, and after that conversion is done, I'm expecting that the application will return, so that probably if I'm interested in the second option, I will input it as well. So how do you make it return after inputting the first option if it contains other menus within it?
Oh, that is the white true. Okay. Hello, sir.
Sorry, I
Your
muted
microphone is
myself.
unmuted.
Okay.
So yeah, Lakon, you're right. That's while true. So you do while true, capital T, true for true, then true, then colon. That while true means run forever. So you can do 1, convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit; 2, convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius; 3, exit. So when you finish with the first one, you'll still go back to the main menu and say, okay, 1 for this, 2 for this, 3, exit. The first 2, you still go back, you run the conversion, then do it again until when you're done with it, you can now type 3 for exit. So everything will be inside that while true block.
Okay. The next question.
You come with a basket of questions today.
Today's question and
They
answer.
bringing them out one by one. They were like, next question.
So in the case game, especially as the one you sent through, Mr. Lakon, I realized when I was looking through the code, I saw something like try, except, and I told you last Monday that I would entreat that you explain that try colon, just similar to the break and
Yes.
the if and the while loops. I saw the except, I saw the try. What does it mean? And I believe if you could take it from where we ended the last time, I will appreciate that.
Okay, sir.
Your
Okay.
microphone is unmuted.
We can do that today if there are no other questions.
Nice
So,
is AI note taker.
if there are no other questions,
Other
we can do that.
questions? Come with your questions.
Yes, sir.
Today is Friday.
Left.
I still
Okay.
have one more, if I'm
Mr.
permitted.
Stanley. Mr. Stanley, a king of questions. Okay. Go ahead.
Can I go? Okay, let me go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Please, I want to ask. Don't mind, my question might not be correct, but if I'm not correct, let me put it right. For instance, I want to use these functions. I don't know the particular one to use now. For instance, I want to where children, like the way they write jam, for instance, where the question will be in the system. How do I make my questions to be like, how do I make it in such a way that it's going to have, like, if let me say the input will be open. Once they type in, maybe they press like a quiz, if they press 1, it will bring out a particular question. When the person, for instance, say, what is Mr. Oba's surname? And they say, for instance, it is Bismarck. A, Bismarck, B, Stanley. And Bismarck is Mr. Oba's surname. And the person chooses the A, it will say correct. Number 2, it maybe the person will choose number 10, something like that. How do I make such kind with functions?
What do you mean by function? You mean def functions, abi
Yes,
functions?
get functions. Yes. One of those functions.
Okay.
Your
You don't get
microphone.
my question.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to come. Okay, he will answer your question.
Okay, so Deacon, you can assist me in this question. You answer. So
Okay. So let me just tell you the thing is that, okay, you have your question already, and
Yes.
your options will be print statements. Your options, like option A, you can say print A, then your option, let's say Ibrahim Olalekan, print B, another line, whatever the other sub names. Then under your option, so you will say if the input, the user's input is equal, then you mention the correct option is equal. Let's say the option A is the answer, is equals A. Then print correct, that is correct or something. Otherwise, that is else, your answer is wrong or something. It's just pure if statement. Pure if statement.
And if it's up to like 10 questions behind, that means it's going to be a very, very long script.
Before Uncle. When the professor was saying that he wrote a thousand, is it over 10,000 lines of code? He thought he was joking. I thought this one we are doing is just baby writing now. I are writing
Okay.
codes.
If it is just
So
number one question, like you said, I think that one I can write that one. I was just thinking there's a shorter way to do it where you can, like you taught us sometimes, you're going to be using colons to separate the questions, and maybe somehow if there's a shorter way. But from what you have just said, I have to wait so that let me learn more.
But you still need to write your options. Now you still need to write out your questions and your options. Those ones alone, there are enough lines on their own before you now do your if whatever is equals this, if that is the other.
Your microphone is unmuted.
So that is your database. All your questions and your answers, your options, A for this, B for right or wrong answer. Those are your questions, and those questions are in your database. So in this case, obviously we've not done databases yet, but you need to have something that would act or would mimic a database. So you can have a list of questions, all questions in a list, so that when it goes to this, when it finishes with this question, it goes to the next question. When you miss that question, it goes out of the loop because you didn't get the question. You know, so you can just start writing it. With your if statements and all those things, your for loops, see where you go, and you can share with me or Lekon, and then we can correct and say, okay, no, do it this way, do it that way. But it's only by trying. Yes, you have the idea, you have the ideas in your head of what you want. So why don't you go ahead and just write it, and then see, oh, I've written this. So like Bismarck sometimes comes to the class and says, oh, I've written this. Oh, how do I do? And I'll say, okay, why don't you do it this way, this way, this way? You know, Tekene might come and ask me a question. I also correct. So try as much as possible, and it's by writing that you learn. If all
Yes.
these things that you're doing, that you now learn, oh, okay, this is what Mr. Victor was saying, this is what Lekon was saying. But by just thinking it out, because I've seen a lot of students that I teach, they will just think, oh, why don't we do this like this? Okay, but why don't you write it? It's by writing it. It's like when we're in school, you can't read mathematics like how you read English. You have to go and practice out the maths. Okay, a squared equals b squared. You know the formula, but you've not practiced it out. So when somebody gives you one formula, and you're like, and it's still the a squared b squared, but because you've not practiced it properly, you don't really know, oh, okay, this is where I should put my a, this is where, all those kind of things. So by practicing the code, you have the ideas now, you put your ideas into the work, and then you now deliver.
Prof.
Okay.
There's even one guy like this. When we were in a project, he didn't really know much about the coding, but he learned just a little bit, and he was already using it. But 5 months down the line, when he saw his code, he was like, "Chai, this my code now, baby code where I write. I could have done it this way. I could have done it that way." So, but it's good that at least he started, and guess what? The code worked.
Prof.
That's how it is. Yes.
So writing those okay, as Stanley mentioned, so writing those question and answers in Python as compared to coding with HTML, which one is easier?
So if you write it with HTML, the problem is that you now have to convert it. You need what they call a parser, something to convert your HTML into the Python so that Python can read it. What you could do is to you put your questions and answers in a file, so in a, let's say, a text file, and then Python will start reading it from the file. Now, but because we've not gone into files yet, that's why I suggested put them in a list, or you can put them in a dictionary, right? You can put them in a list, something to hold the questions, right, and the answers, right? So you can even put them in tuples of lists. Let me give you an example. Your questions can be questions equals open square brackets, right? And then open curly normal brackets, that's parentheses. That's for question one. Now, what is your name? Question mark, inside quotes, comma, then you put the person's name, Bismarck, close parentheses. So that parenthesis has two things: your name, the question, and the answer. Then you now put comma. Then you now go to the second question, open paren, your name and your answer, comma, open paren again. That after your name and your answer, close paren, open paren, your name, comma, your answer, close paren, comma, that kind of thing. So your name and your answer will be in parentheses, separated by commas, and those ones will be inside tuples. But each tuple, all the tuples will be inside the list. So you now go through the list. So how do you access the first tuple? Let's do it. So let me just, so that I will show you what you understand what I'm
Search
talking
with
about.
Google or enter at left.
Lekon, can you share your screen? Let me quickly let me show that
Okay,
you
sir.
understand what I'm.
Thank
Okay,
you,
sir.
sir.
Left. Meeting our Microsoft Teams LFM. Left of. Left paren 9 right paren left
Sharing your screen. Microsoft Teams. 12 participants join the call.
left top. Meeting R Microsoft
Start window. Search window. Search box. Edit search for apps. Settings and documents blank.
Okay,
Left,
is it
left,
PowerShell or
yeah.
Visual Studio Code?
Escape.
PowerShell and Visual Studio Code.
Left top. Left paren 9 right.
Level 1
paren,
Visual Studio Code.
left
App V.
window. Meeting R
Visual Studio Code.
Microsoft
Document.
Meeting R
Application.
Microsoft
Mainline mark.
left
Attempt.py editor. Account grade. Rate boost on. Rate 25. Rate 15. Rate 10.
Okay.
left shem.
Toby. please come.
Untitled -1 editor.
Left top. Left paren left with tab. Photo at upper next key left window. Left paren 9 right paren what's best left with tab.
this one?
Meeting R Microsoft Teams M
Hold on,
dash
I want
Mozilla
to use it
Firefox
on
Frame.
hold on.
Search with Google or enter address panel. This meeting panel. This meeting was set to be record panel. Zoom out panel. Zoom out push. Zoom in. Zoom out push button.
I don't know
Zoom
if I
out
press
push
now.
button. Zoom in push button.
Sorry, hold
More
on,
push
please.
button.
Yes, sir.
Zoom.
Okay,
Zoom
so
into
Lekon, you can
unhidden
say,
port. Zoom out. Zoom in push the main content share. Completing
questions
main
of Pi.
Okay.
meeting
So
R
this person
Microsoft
should mute
Save as
now.
dialog. File
Okay,
name Q. Selection remove U E F T I O N S. Questions. Dot P.
More push
Y.
menu.
No,
Tab check.
that's-
Untitled -1 -vis blank.
People
Blank,
check menu
blank.
item not checked. Shut
So
with
what?
Number.
collapse push
Space.
Please, can the second person
Tap
mute?
No, it's the professor himself. Yeah.
Okay.
BRAAIM. Ibrahim.
So how do you want to log in and log out?
Number. Space.
So you mean can't you click on the thing inside?
P. O. G. M. Program. 2. Space. C. R. E. T. Create.
main content.
Space.
Chat with-
Main content.
N.
Meet. Call it
Question.
main
T.
meeting main
Chat
content.
what you see.
Leave it.
What happened now?
Main content.
No, I want to see. Wait, see if I do this.
Left. Your micro.
Yeah, hello?
Mr. Lekon, please,
Yeah.
what's the title of the program?
Yes,
I do
sir.
questions of PY.
Yes. It's done already, sir.
Okay, now. Your first line comment, your name.
Settled first and second. So,
Okay, now third line, let's say DB, your database, equals open square bracket,
D. B. Space. Equals. Space. Error. Left bracket.
open paren,
Left paren.
in quotes, what is the color of my car? Or color of car?
Quote. Cap W. T. What? It. The. O. F. E. Color. Of. Space. M. Y. M. A. R. Car. Question.
okay, sir.
Okay, comma. Then
Comma.
in quote, red.
Space. Quote.
Left.
R. E. D. Right bracket. Right paren. D. E. R. Quote. Space. Quote. R. E. D. Right paren. Quote.
Your microphone is unmuted.
Okay, after the paren, put comma.
Quote. Right paren. Right bracket. Comma. Space.
Open paren again.
Left.
Left paren.
Your microphone is unmuted.
What is in quote? What is my name?
Quote. Suggest list. And cap W. T. M. E.
Yes, sir.
And then comma. Then put
After name,
what is my name?
After what is my name? No closing of quotes.
Close quote now. That's in quotes. What is my name in quote?
E, right paren, E, right paren, left brace, left brace,
Left
quote,
brace care.
suggest list, suggest, quote, E, quote, right paren,
Okay, comma.
comma, space,
Then you can put your name, Lekon.
quote, suggest list, name error, cap L, E, N,
Close quotes.
N, quote, question, right paren, quote, N, right,
Then now you have
bracket,
right parent, right bracket. So we have 2 questions and 2 answers. Now let's go to the next line. After the go to the end of the line, then go to the next line.
It's outside of the square bracket.
After yeah, outside of the square bracket, yes.
right paren, right bracket, blank,
Okay, sir.
Can now say for question in DB.
F, space, Q, U, E, F, N, question, space, space, D, B, suggest list, colon, question,
So just a minute, please.
Okay.
Let me confirm something.
circle questions dot py dash visual studio, colon, blank,
Okay.
colon, blank, D, blank, blank, number program, blank, DB equals left bracket left blank, DB, equal, left bracket left paren, quote, capped up, 8, is, the, color, of, my, car, comma, question, comma, quote, question, quote, comma, space, quote, R, E, D, quote, right paren, comma, space, left paren, quote, cap W, is, my, name, quote, E, quote, comma, space, quote, cap E, A, N, quote, right paren, right bracket, line feed, space, 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 F, O, F, space, space, error, F, space, line feed, F, question, in, DB, B, colon, blank, error,
Okay, sir.
blank,
For question in DB.
Your
Okay.
microphone is unmuted.
Before we continue, we have a DB of questions and a list. Inside that list, what do we have?
What is the color of my car? Then red. What is my name? Lekon.
Okay. What are those what are they grouped into? They are grouped into a tuple, as or tuples. So what I'm saying is that these kind of things, you have to have a structure. You know, a database normally has structure. So this is your structure. Your structure is a list, and inside the list you have tuples. Inside each tuple, inside each tuple, they have 2 elements: the question and the answer. Question, answer, question, answer. That is a structure. Okay. So why I'm saying this is that you have to, before you design or go into a code, you can see that in this place now, we are using what we know. We know about lists, we know about tuples. So now each list, inside the list, that's the main list, you have a tuple. You have tuples. And inside each tuple, you have question and answer. Question and answer. Okay. Now, if I say for question in DB, first of all, what is our DB? Who can answer? What's our DB in that place? Let me see whether you're following. What's DB?
Prof, you're talking about DB as in database now.
Yeah, no, this line of code, I have for question in DB. What is the variable? What is that? What is that variable?
It's the list.
Okay. But the Stanley that's asking me the question, I wanted him to answer. It's not the Kenneth that's answering me.
Sorry.
Okay. Now, Stanley or Bismarck. Now that you know, now that Tekena has said is the list, what will question print out? If I say print question now, what will question be? What will be printed out? Hello.
Hello, Mr. Stanley.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Although the network somehow took me off to an extent. I don't know.
Okay.
The question you asked.
Did you follow the
Yes.
writing?
Yes, I follow. Yes, I follow.
So the question is for question in DB. So it's asking what is that DB?
For question in DB. Yeah.
You know the first line is DB equals open square brackets, then open parent. What the color of my car is, comma, then red, close parent, then open another parenthesis. What is my name in quote, then comma, Lekon, close quote, close parenthesis, close the square bracket. Then another line for question in DB. So now that DB, what is that is the question.
Database.
Okay. What is the database? What is the data? What is type of? What is the type? What is the data type of the database? The DB.
What is the data type of the DB? What's
I can't say.
It's a list.
is it a dictionary?
Is it a dictionary? Is it a list? Is it a tuple?
Is it a string?
It's a tuple.
Why do you say it's a tuple? Did you guess, or why do you say it's a tuple?
When the questions were being written,
It's a list.
It's a list, sir.
Okay. It's
I'm
a
not
list.
online.
So Bismarck has said it's a list. Tekena said it was a list. So if you look at it, our DB, Lekon, go to that line. For DB equals
DB blank. DB equals left bracket left paren.
You see, left
Quote,
bracket.
what is the color of my car?
Stop it. So DB equals left bracket. As soon as you see that left bracket, you know it's a list. Mr.
Okay.
Stanley. Now,
Yes,
inside that list, we have tuples. Lekon, can you go inside the list? Just be going character by character.
Okay.
Color. Deep list. DB equals space
DB
left
equals
bracket.
Left bracket. The next
left
one.
Paren.
Left paren. So now that is a tuple. Anything that has parentheses is a tuple. Now, if you are listening to me, or if this thing did not disconnect you, what I said is that when you have a structure, when you have something like this, where you need like a database, you need a structure, and in this structure, we have chosen a list, and inside that list, we have chosen tuples. The tuples will contain the question, answer, question, answer. So you can have like 10 questions. You must also have 10 answers. So each corresponding question. If you have a question, you must have a corresponding answer. We have to group them, and we group them into a tuple. And all these tuples are grouped into a list. Okay?
Okay.
Now, If I say, now the next line says for question in DB. Can you go to that line?
For question in DB colon.
Now, next line, go to the next line and print and say print question. Don't run the code, just type print question.
Okay.
Blank, colon, blank, error. P-R-I-N-T, warning. Print 1, left paren, star values colon, Q-U-E-S-T-I-O-N. Quest, right paren, blank. For print
so
left
now,
paren, question
for
right
question
paren.
in DB, print question. Who can tell me what will come out in question? What would be printed out on the screen?
I think
It is the
you
question.
have what is the
That I
color of
did.
my car?
What is the color of my car? What is
What
the
is
color
my
of
name?
Okay, who said that? Who said what is the color of my car and what is my name? Who said that?
It's Victor.
Well, I said, and
Victor.
said.
Okay, it's Victor. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Stanley, what do you think will be printed out?
What we printed out is the two questions will be printed out.
Okay. Okay. Tekena. Tekena there? Or Bismarck?
Sorry, I didn't know that I was muted.
Okay.
I actually wanted to ask a question before you got here. Because when if I may, before I give my answer, because in when it defined the list and then the triple inside the lead, I was listening to see where I can hear column. I don't know whether columns are there in between the keys and the values.
No, this is not dictionary.
I may be totally wrong.
No.
If there are no columns in between the keys and the values, would Python not see both of them as keys? I thought keys and values are always separated by colon.
Yeah, but those are dictionaries. Those are dictionaries. So you can do it that way.
Okay.
You can do it that way. But what we did, we put it inside. In this scenario, we put it inside. What do you call it? Into tuples. So the each tuple is strict. It's strict because it only has two values inside, or two items inside the tuple.
Inside. Okay, that's fine, sir.
Okay.
All right. So basically, what you print out in this instance will be the first component of each triple, which is what is my name, and what is the color of my car, and what is my name.
Okay.
Prof,
I think you only print out
each item in quotes before the comma in each of the tuples. That's what it should print out first.
Okay.
it will print out the strings. Those you've put in quotes, so it will print out those things or those. I mean, simply put, it will print out the strings in our DB.
The strings. Okay. Now, Leko.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now go to the line that blank line before the DB. Go to that blank line before the DB.
DB blank.
Okay. Now do L.
Okay, uncle.
D line feed.
Okay. L.
D
equals
L space equals space.
Open paren, close, open square bracket, close square bracket.
Left bracket, error.
Inside the
left
square brackets,
left
put
bracket,
1,
error.
2.
Okay.
Right bracket, error. Right bracket, left bracket, right bracket. 1, comma, 2.
Okay. Now go back to the for question in DB. Put for question in L.
Okay.
D, error. Line feed, right line D, for question in DB, question in DB, colon, B, D, error, L, colon.
Now, for question in L, what will our question be in this case?
It is
What is the
individual
color by?
items. So 1,2.
1,2,
Yes,
Abi?
Emmy Olanda left the
Yes.
call.
Okay. 1,2. Anybody else?
Yes, Emmy Olanda, unverified, no longer has access to the chat.
Same here.
Same. Okay, so everybody says 1,2. Okay, now. Okay, go. Lekon, go back to the L. So you're correct.
DB.
You guys are
L
correct.
equals L equals left bracket 1 comma 2 right bracket.
Okay, now in the inside that list now,
Yes, sir.
remove that. I want to type something. Remove that. What you have there, 1,2.
Okay,
Remove
sir.
it. So it has to be an empty
Right
list.
bracket 2 comma 1 left right bracket. L equals left bracket right bracket.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do it like this. L equals, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry, leave it like that. 1,2. Put
Okay.
1,2. Sorry.
Right bracket 1 1 comma 2 line right bracket. L
Now go
equals
to the
left
end of the
bracket
line.
1 comma 2 right
Press enter.
End of the line.
Yeah, end of the
2
line. Yeah, press enter.
right bracket line feed.
Okay, sir.
Now do M. M for Mike is equals to open square brackets. M for Mike. M.
Space questions dot equals space left
Open
bracket
square bracket 3,4.
3 3 comma 4
Then close square bracket.
line feed right bracket
Next, go to the next line.
line feed.
Okay, sir.
Now do N. N for November. N is equals to open square bracket.
N space equals space left bracket
L, comma M.
dot error dot L comma questions dot space M suggest list
Then close the square bracket.
questions right bracket.
Now
M,
go to the first
comma.
statement and now say for question in N.
DB for question in L colon L error N quest DB equal for question in N colon.
Okay, now, oh yeah, class. What will our question be now in this case? What will be printed out in question?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, who said that?
Second
Second answer.
Tekena. Okay, next person.
2 participants entering lobby.
It's the only Tekena that's answering.
Unplugged 98%. Plugged in
If
98%.
that's what I'm saying, that this one now will be a guess. But I know that the 1 and 2 is not what we printed, but I don't know how the other ones will be added. I'm sure of 1 and 2, but I'm not sure of the others that may be printed. I don't know how it could be, since there was no question for it.
Okay.
To me, I think 1 will be printed having when response is received, then 2 will be printed for response as well.
Okay. Lekon, go after the print question. Now type break.
Print left paren. Question print
Next
blank
line.
right paren blank
Then break.
B E A K.
Okay. Now go back. So we have for question in what? In N. N for November, Abi.
Break
Now
break
let's
one
go
of print left
Okay.
for question in N colon.
for question in N colon. Now let's go back up. What is our N? Our N is what?
DB N equals left bracket L M right bracket.
LM.
L and M. That is our N. Okay.
Yes.
How many items does N N for November, how many items does it have?
2.
2.
2
On
items.
the
What
on the
is it?
face on the face of the code, 2 items.
Yes. Now, what is the first value? What is the first value? What are its contents? What
L
is L?
L has
one
what?
L has 1
1
and
and
2.
2. Abi,
And 2,
then
yeah.
M has what?
3 and
3,
4.
3 and 4.
Okay, now let's go back to this code now. For question in N, print question, then
EV
it
N
breaks out.
equals left.
What will it print out here?
Question 1 and question 2.
I should expect it
You
to
just
print
do
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
you,
Yeah.
okay. Tekena says 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Who
My
else was
question.
it?
My
Before
question.
you have question, I want you to understand what I'm doing here before you ask question.
Okay, sir.
It will print
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4 because in the N contains L and M. Meanwhile, L itself has 2 items, and then the M also has 2 items. So it's going to print the L and the M within the container N.
Okay. Now, okay. So Bismarck says 1, 2, 3, 4. Stanley, what is your answer?
1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm not sure of what is in 3 and 4.
No, now 3 and 4 is a list. Is see. How do I explain this now?
3 and 4
Click
are
on.
items
I don't know whether can you explain?
in M.
What do you
Or
say,
taken
sir?
Items in the list M.
L has 2 items in the list. L.
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
L has 2
Yes.
items in the list. 1 and 2.
Yes.
Abi.
Yes, sir.
M has 2 items in its own list. M is a variable. He has 2 items in his own list. 3 and 4. Abi.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, N is equals to open square bracket L comma M. Okay. Now the question is for question. Remember this for question in N. This question can be Jesufemi, can be Stanley. They're just a variable. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you get it? Can be Stanley for Stanley in N. Print Stanley. Now that variable question or Stanley, what is it going to print out? Mind you that there's a break. There's a break. The reason why I put the break there, I want to see, okay, in this case now, when it prints out and then it breaks, okay, how many times will this code run? First of all, this for loop, how many times do they run?
To
I
run
intentionally,
4.
okay, so Stanley says 4 times. Tekena, how many times do they run?
Yeah, because there's a break.
Okay.
It will run 4 times.
4
I
times.
think even without a
Okay.
break, I think you run 4 times.
The bell running 4.
Okay. Bismarck, how many times?
4 for each item, so it's going to run 4.
Okay.
Princess is on this call. Mercy on this call. Princess, let's hear your voice. Contribute. Well, I said Princess. What is the name? Pascaline.
Onyeyuchi.
Yes. Onyeyuchi, sorry. Princess is on Excel, not Python.
Okay.
Okay, Onyeyuchi. Okay, go on, sir.
Okay, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to learn. Once I put this break here, what I'm telling the system to do is I want you to only run this code once. There's no condition. If there's a condition that if question is equals to something, break. No. I put the break there intentionally so that the loop will only run once. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If there's no break, it will run 4 times. Actually, it won't run 4 times. You understand? But it will run the full course of its loop.
2 participants entering lobby.
Okay, I've already given you a hint that it won't run 4 times. But anyway, So now that it has run, now you know that it's going to run once. Eh?
Okay, Prof, maybe when I was saying 4 times, yeah, maybe I'm talking about what is going to print out as in the 4 items. That's what I'm making reference to. Not like it
Oh,
will
no,
print the
no.
4 items 4 times.
No, no, no. It's going to run it once.
Okay.
Okay. So to understand what is going on there, they can change that N to L. Change that N to L now.
M-E, L-E,
That is under 4.
Yeah, for N, for question in N,
blank,
in N, change
L,
it to L.
M-N-E,
Okay, now.
D-B, for in, question, in, N, colon, N, error, L, D, for question in L, colon.
Okay, now, I have for question in L. Print question, break. So how many times, because of this break, how many times will this thing run?
Once.
Once, okay, we understand that it's going to run once. Okay, L has how many items inside?
2
2.
items.
2 items inside, exactly. Now, what would the first item be?
What is the color of my car?
No, now, not
One.
DB now. L has 2 items,
One.
1 and 2.
One.
It's going to print out 1. It's going to print out 1, and then after 1, what will it do?
To print 2.
It will break out, exactly. So now, click on run this, save it and run this code. I want to show them something.
Okay.
Start window. P. Windows PowerShell. Windows PowerShell. Windows PowerShell terminal blank. PS. Question. Start window. P. Windows PowerShell. Windows PowerShell terminal blank. Windows P. Y. Pi. Space. Q. U. E. F. T. I. N. S. Questions. P. Y. PSC : users / access greater.
Did you print it out? It was too fast, Abby.
No, it didn't print any.
PSC : users / access greater pi questions dot pi.
Run it again. You should have printed it out now.
1. PSC.
Okay, 1.
Okay, you printed it.
It
Printed
did.
it at once. Okay. All right, so you can see that I printed out only once because of the break. If I remove the break, it's going to print out 1, and that means there are 2 items in L, Abby. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, how many items are in N? Lekon, go back to N, please.
On the surface of the code, 2 items, but
2
those 2
items.
items have 2 items each.
Exactly. So no, wait. Just look at N. Don't forget about the other 2 items.
Okay.
N has how many items?
2 items.
2 items.
L and
Okay,
N.
so if it's going through the loop on N, what is the first item?
L.
L.
What is the first L? And now, so if it's going through L, it's just going through L. So it's going to print out L. And what is L?
1, 2.
1, 2. That's what it's going to print out. So click on, change that for question in L. Now change it to N.
Questions dot L colon L error N colon.
Now save and run.
Windows PSC left bracket 1 2 right bracket
You
PSC
see
colon.
that? It just printed 1 and 2 because L has what? 2 contents. Python doesn't care that, okay, this L that has 2 contents, so it doesn't care about that. But my item in N is there are only 2 items. And the first item is what?
L.
The first item is L, and L is what? 1 and 2. So it's going to print out only 1 and 2. So if it now runs the whole loop, it's going to run twice. Not 4 times, twice. And the twice, the first one is going to print out L, which is 1 and 2. And then second one will print out M, which is 3 and 4.
Okay.
Do you understand this concept now?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Now you understand the concept. Now, when I say for question in DB, now DB has how many items now?
2 tuples.
Exactly, two tuples. So what will, if I now say print question break, what will it print out? The first
The first
tuple.
triple.
Exactly.
Notific.
And what will it print out? It will print out what is my car and red,
What is the
Abi?
color of my car? Red. Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're getting it. Do you understand it, Bismarck and Stanley?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I do.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay, so now that we've gotten through that exercise, okay, so I'm happy that we've gotten through that exercise. So now, Lekon, now put for a question in DB.
Question DB equals for question colon line feed colon n error D B.
So we have 32
B.
minutes and we still have Bismarck try and
Okay,
accept error.
we'll try and accept Bismarck's
For
question.
DB equal for
I just,
DB equals left
sometimes, Lekon, it's better they understand the concepts, because if they don't understand these ones, moving forward will not really help. So it's better
Yes.
that they understand this question, these things. You
Very,
understand?
So we
very
can
true.
also, I'm saying that we can also put incorporate Bismarck this thing in this particular file. So we just do it at once.
Oh,
That
okay,
try.
okay.
Yes.
But no, okay, no, that won't be in a
Ne-
separate file, but we'll try and incorporate it now.
Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
sir. All right, sir.
All right, now, for question in DB, print question. So question would print out what the tuple and break, Abi. Now,
Yes, sir.
inside that tuple, Bismarck, Stanley, and Tekena, I want to print out the first item in that tuple. What do I do? Now, that question is the tuple, Abi. I want to print out only the question, which is the first item. What do I do?
I will
Yeah.
specify it to print 0.
Oh, Tekena has always
Your
my
campaign.
my Kante.
I'm gonna count.
Ingolo. Do you get it now? Bismarck and Stanley, do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So if you wanted to print out the first item, so they can put it in print question 0, open square bracket
And
0.
DB equals for print left right paren question EFTION right paren
Then right
left bracket suggest
right
list
bracket, sorry,
and equals
0.
0 right bracket 0 right paren print left
Okay,
paren
now
question
run
left
the code
bracket
now.
0 right Windows power PSC. What is the color of my car? PSC
Do you
colon
understand? What is the color of my car? That's finished. You Tekena has understood the concept. Bismarck and Stanley, do you understand the concept?
Yes,
I
I do.
understand.
Because 0
Okay.
in the range, 0 is the first.
Exactly. And there are 2 items there. Okay.
Yeah, 0 and 1.
Now, 0 and 1, exactly. So now, Lekon, go back to the code now.
questions
Now, after the print, press, and after that close paren on the print, press enter to go to the next line.
Okay. So that means dividing the break, no more break. The break will be on a new line.
Yeah, no, you can remove the break if you want to remove the break. But
break.
just to after the print, I want to do something there. Just press enter. So we'll do a new line.
B space, line, right paren, line feed.
Okay, sir.
Okay, answer equals.
S W E R E R equals space
That answer is still inside the loop, oh, Abi.
Yes.
equal answer
Uh-huh.
space
Yes.
equals
Okay,
space equals
impute.
space line feed
Equals DB.
No, impute, impute,
Impute.
impute.
Okay. Input.
N P U T
Open paren,
U
open
T
quotes.
prompt colon quote
Enter your answer, close quotes, close paren.
cap E T and U R R R right quote right paren
Okay, next line.
line feed
Okay, sir.
If answer equals
If answer equals to what? Who is saying that?
second.
Go
I'll
on.
just following you
Tekena,
my thought as your
eh,
writing.
I Tekena is following
F
me.
space
If answer
A N
equals to
S
what?
W E R E R space equals
Question,
space
Is that equals what they call it that
question what?
the question zero.
No, not question zero. It's not question
No.
zero.
Sorry, the answer zero rather. Sorry,
No,
two.
No.
Sorry,
no.
one. Sorry, 01. That's the next question.
Question one.
Yes, question one.
Q U T I O N question left bracket 1 questions line right bracket line feed
Colon.
colon
The next line.
Yes, sir.
Then print. Your answer is correct.
space line feed P R I N T warning print left paren star values colon quote Y U your S answer is C E C T right quote right
The
paren
next line. Else.
quote right paren line feed
That else will be at the fourth column.
The same. Yeah, number 4. Yes, number 4.
Yeah.
4 colon. Yeah.
space line feed
Yes.
E else one of one colon
Yes,
Then
sir.
next line. Print. You have an incorrect answer.
P R I T print one of one left paren start quote cap Y U V have and S O C T incorrect F R right quote right paren
Okay.
Okay, now, just to add more flavor, before the four question in DB. Leave a blank line. Put count is equals to 0.
Okay.
print left paren else print if answer equals print left for question in colon DB in F O F line feed
No, before
F
the on top of that line, no, not after. On top.
That is before
Before
4.
before 4. Yes, yes.
Yes, on top of
Yes.
one.
C U N T space equals space dash air 0 line F
Now go
count equals
to
0
Now go to the if answer equals this thing.
One.
If
Question
answer
B.
equals question 1.
Question 1. Yeah.
for print answer if answer equals question left bracket 1 right bracket colon
Then print. After the print,
print
you have
left
a correct
paren
answer.
quote
Next,
if
then go
print
to the
left
end of the
paren
line.
quote your answer is correct print
Yeah.
left paren line right paren
Yes, sir.
Then next line, count equals to count plus 1.
line right paren line feed C O U N T space equals space C O U N T warning space quest plus
1.
1
Okay. So now
1
you can see
space
what I'm trying
1
to do here. If you get the correct answer, you're going to count, and then you can say at the end of it, print your total count. So you guys can finish that up. You can have like 10 questions, and then count how many you got right or how many somebody got right and all of that. So I said Bismarck. Lekon, please, that LMN, please remove all those things.
Okay, sir.
Print if answer print for count equals 0. db equals n equals left bracket db m equals left bracket l equals blank l equals left bracket 1 comma 2 right bracket selected m equals left bracket 3 comma 4 right bracket selected n blank n equals left bracket l
Okay.
blank n equals left db blank db equal count
Okay.
equals 0.
All right.
Okay.
So we now know what DB is. DB is our list with two tuples. Each tuple has two items, right? So the list itself only has two items, and then each item has two items inside it. Okay. And it now goes for question in DB. Says it's going to print out the question. Then now says if answer, it's going to ask you for your answer. If answer equals the question 1 of that question 0, right? It's now going to say you have gotten it correct. It's going to add a count to it, and then from there, if you didn't get it right, it's going to say you have an incorrect answer. Okay. So at the end of the code, Lekon, you can just say print count.
left the call.
Okay. That print count will be at the fourth column as well.
Unverified, no longer
No,
have access
It's
to
at
the
the
chat.
beginning. It's at the
At
no, column
beginning,
1.
sorry.
For print answer if print count equals else colon print left break line feed break space
Because if
line
you put
feed
it
right paren
at
line
the,
feed
the intent level of the print, then it
space
will continue after
space
every.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
p I n t warning print 1 left paren star values colon c e n t quest right paren print left paren count right paren break
Okay.
error
Okay. Let's
break
no remove the break. Remove that break. Remove the
blank
break.
b line feed space break selected line feed print blank print left paren
Okay. Make sure that print is at the beginning. No, is it at the beginning?
blank
Yeah, it's like
line right paren p
Okay. Oh yeah.
line feed
Save and
p
run.
Windows power PSC. What is the color of my car? Enter your
Okay. What
answer.
is the enter your answer? You see, so you can say red.
E D. Your answer is correct. What is my name? Enter your
What is my
answer.
name? Now, Lekon, put your name, but put all caps. Put it in all caps.
okay.
Caps lock on. Cap N. You have an
Enter.
incorrect answer. 1.
Uh-huh.
PSC colon backslash.
Why do you think it did that? Why do you Lekon put his correct name, but it was all caps?
Yes.
Why did he say it was incorrect?
It was case sensitive.
Case sensitive.
Okay. All right. Now, you guys can try your own your own program as assignments. But what you're going to do is that the answer, no matter the case, it should equal to the actual answer.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So
Next.
try it at your spare time. It will help your coding. You can add more questions. You can add counts. Counts. You can have like 5 questions. If the person doesn't get it right, say 4/5. There are 5 questions in total, but you only have 3 correct.
Prof, I wanted to see how when we run this code, I want to see what the count function will do. Sorry, the print count will do, but I didn't get it.
But
No,
it did
okay,
now.
no,
It
it
said,
printed, it printed only 1. It said
it said
1.
1. That means you only got 1.
Okay, printed 1. Okay.
Yeah.
It printed 1. So in your own code, you can say yes.
How can you make this time bound, like the response from the user? The time the user needs to
You have to
impute
import,
his
you have to
response.
import time.
Yeah,
Import
very
time,
true.
but that is a different thing entirely. That one, don't worry about that one for now. Don't worry about that one for now.
Okay, sir.
Just
Yes.
just 1 or 2 questions. This question doesn't have the alternatives, whereby the student is to choose from, say, alternative A to D,
Multiple choice.
multiple choice. So it means with this, the user is going to guess our answer. And look at this one has that several lines of code. So I mean, I would prefer converting from HTML to this thing.
Well, that one you have the option now, option A, B, C, D. So then you now know which one is correct. So that options, your options can be in another tuple on its own.
Then that one will be a lot of codes for something.
Well,
A serious
don't
code.
worry. I'll give you think since you guys want to code, I know what to give you for your midweek assignment, for your midweek project. Your
No,
mid
it's not everybody. Let's focus on the core, on the objective.
Later you take it
Let's
easy
not
on
go out
us,
of the objective of the
Let's make it.
of the
I think
training.
much into our
No, don't
Anything
worry.
else, Bismarck, pay extra.
what do you
That
think?
might be joking though.
You people are complaining about that part. That's the job now. That's the job. There are sometimes when you have there's something called boilerplate code. So boilerplate code is like when without even you coding anything, your own logical, that's Bismarck's logic or Tekena's logic, you must write like 10 lines of code first because the logic insists that you have that code written out first. So that one you can just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. So that's boilerplate code before you now write your own code. So stuff like this, you have to write out. You have to write out variable, your initial values, your constants. These are your question and your answers are constants. Now, imagine this is a database. Imagine this is a database. So all these questions, who's going to input all these questions and answers into your database for you? Either you get a data entry expert who will put everything inside for you, or you do it yourself. So that's it.
Okay, Prof, do you have content management system for Python?
Like PHP, what's all this thing? WordPress.
And so we have HTML. Do you have something similar for Python?
You have Flask and you have Django.
Are they accessible?
I like Flask. I use Flask and I use Django a lot. Django, don't worry, we'll talk about that one later. We have 20 minutes or 15 minutes to go. But yeah, you have Flask and you have Django. We can talk about that in next class.
Just a minute. I want to, in case
I
you
have
come
a
and I want to
question.
use the toilet. I
I'm
want to use the
standing
toilet.
by.
Okay. Oh, Philip, you have a
Yes,
question?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, but before my question, I would like to, recommend that I think it would be more productive if we are more concerned or concentrating on the topic that we actually, dealing in a particular week, especially on Fridays like this. My little observation, just that's me personally. I just feel like most of the time on Fridays like this, we don't, some of the questions that some of our colleagues ask are not usually directly, associated with the topic we actually taught. And I think that should be the way. Then if we don't have such questions, then if other advanced questions can be coming, fine. We can be accommodating it. Like today, I love the code we just designed, but then I'm looking at the dev function we were taught on Monday, and I'm looking at what we just finished doing. It's not really in line. That's one. And
Okay.
the other question I wanted to ask is relating to one of the code we designed on Monday, where we talked about factorial. That was function 2.py. That was the file. I wanted to ask the question, but then I needed us to finish designing this code before asking. But the code has already taken almost the whole day. So I would like to encourage our colleagues, please. I think it would be fair that we take the other person into cognizance when we ask questions. Some of us are not too advanced, so that we can
Yeah,
as well follow this program. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you very much, Philip. So while we went into this, actually that was the first question I asked. I said, okay, do you have any questions with regards to functions? And nobody seemed to come up with the answer or any question. Sorry. So then Stanley now posed this question, and I was trying to tell him that questions like this you could actually do it yourself. And then I was trying to give them a kind of way, a summary of how to do it. But I said, okay, do you know what? Let me just write the code so that they can see a way of doing it. And in writing the code, while writing the code, we saw, or I saw, that there were some gaps in some concepts. And I feel sometimes when you get into these little concepts, and when you fill in these gaps of these little concepts, then going into those bigger concepts like um, what do you call it? Now going into functions and all of that, then it can be
Yes.
easier. Yeah, it can be easier. So that's why I didn't mind. For me, I didn't mind going into this because that's why I went into this L equals 1, 2, M equals 3, 4. Okay, N is one, L and M. Okay, what is L? All these kind of things, so that they understand these concepts. And by knowing these concepts, now when we now talk about functions, because the function that we had, which was a while loop, and the while loop was a factorial. Now, and the factorial was in a loop. So inside this loop, I think inside the factorial, you had a break. Yeah, so you have so many things there which are even in this particular small program we wrote here. So I feel that now they know most of these concepts like break. They understand, okay, what will be printed out when you have a tuple in a list or something. They can now start with that. Your concept and your fundamentals of Python become better and better and better, and then from there you will appreciate it better. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, that's why I didn't mind going through all of this actually.
Mm. Like I said, I
Mm,
appreciated the code and the
mm,
program general, but then I was still looking
mm.
at the fact that we still have the topic there. I feel we can
Yeah,
still,
the function would have incorporated it inside.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, um,
Prof,
yes.
are you reserving my question
No,
next
no, no, no. We're doing
time?
it.
Or
Lekon had to go and use the toilet, so he's back
Sir, I'm here,
now.
sir. I'm back.
He's back now. So now let's do try except.py. Try except.py.
Okay, sir.
PSC questions
Or
dot que-
no, no, no,
blank
no. Let's go to. No, no. Let's do it on the Try except.py. Let's do it that way.
Okay.
untitled dash one edit blank save as dialog file name colon cap T select caps lock off T R Y cap E X C E L L P T P T dot P Y untitled dash blank try accept dot py blank blank number space cap B A M Ibrahim number space P G program T O 2 space
Prof,
C A T A catch space
Program to use try
R
except.
Okay.
error catch 2 catch error selected blank space blank use try space N N A E X E L L P T space
Okay.
Number program to use try except.
Okay,
Blank.
now okay. Okay, now let's do it this way. Question equals
Q U E F I O N stion equals space error
input int
I
int
N T suggest list left paren
input
I N P U T T prompt
enter a number in quotes.
quote cap E T enter A N E R number space right quote right paren
Okay, the next line.
right paren blank
Yes, sir.
Okay, answer
But some
equals
network is here.
A N
answer
F
equals
R E R equals space error
let's just say question plus 5. Let's just put like that, question plus 5.
Q E S suggest E F T I N ssion space try except plus space error 5 question equals int left
Okay,
paren
next line.
input left paren answer equals question plus 5 blank
Print answer.
blank P sug T print 1 of 1 left paren A N F R try right paren and print left paren answer right paren
Prof,
Yes.
kindly come again after the variable question. My line was breaking.
Okay, question equals to int input enter a number, then answer. The next line is answer is equals to question plus 5.
So on the next line.
Yeah, on the next line, answer equals to question plus 5.
answer print left paren
Then your next line, Bismarck, print answer.
Okay.
Okay, now save Lekon and run.
Windows power what is the you have a PSC colon back P Y pi space T R Y cap E X E P T try accept dot P Y enter a number colon
Okay, enter a number. We type 5. Type 5.
5 10 PSC colon
So
back
that's 10 again. Now run it again. Run it again.
PSC enter a number
So when
colon
we hold on, when we put the number 5, you can see that's an integer. So we run it. Now put 7.5. Lekon, put 7.5.
7 7 dot 5 trace back left paren most
You
recent
see? There's a trace back. Okay, now run it again.
PSC enter a number colon
Put C or for Charlie or put Lekon, type Lekon.
N trace back left paren
All
most
right, so you
recent
see
call last
now,
right paren
if it's not integer, what happens is that Python goes into a halt because it wants, after you input, it wants an integer. So without that integer in that line, it will work because you just input something. But because of that integer, you want to convert what you're putting into what you want to convert what you're putting into from the keyboard into an integer. But if you input something other than integer, it's going to develop or raise an error. So now that it raises an error, hold on please.
Your microphone is unmuted.
Yeah, so so that you don't want this to happen, you can put this into what they call a try except. What will happen is that what you're telling Python that Python try these lines of code, and then if there's an error, accept the error, but except, sorry, if there's an error, now print out something that you did not put the correct integer. Let the input be an integer, because you know that at that point of input, there's always the likelihood of being an error is very high. So you're allowing the user to get to the input, but then as soon as the input something, you can now say, Python will now flag the error because it cannot convert that number to an integer. So in that except, it's going to say, okay, catch the error, but then print out something as you're catching the error. Okay, so let's go back to the code and you understand what I'm saying. Okay,
try answer question equals int left
now
paren
before question, we put try
blank q t r y
then colon
try except
enter.
space line feed.
Okay, now you can see that because there's a colon in the try, because there's a colon in the try, is going to form a block. So
no longer has access to the chat.
All the lines of code after this will be indented. So Lekon indent the question equals this, answer equals this, print answer, indent all of them.
Q answer answer line feed a space n a line feed 5 line feed p space and print answer question and print left.
Okay, sir.
So now after the print, go to the end of the line, go to the next line,
blank,
press enter.
right, blank.
Now type except.
Well, except to be at the beginning of the line.
Space X suggest C E P T.
After the except, you press colon.
T colon.
I said
then after the colon, press enter. Yeah, the except to be at the beginning of the line. It must all be at the same level as the try, the same indentation level as the try.
Colon.
So
blank.
After the
error,
colon, press
error.
enter. You can see it will indent itself. Then you now say print.
P T print 1 of 1.
Incorrect input.
Quote. N C O E C T N P U T.
Comma.
Right, quote. Right paren. Comma. Space.
Please try an integer.
Okay.
Comma. Quote. Comma. Space. P M E A E. Please. Space T N N T E G R.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now let's look at the code now. So the first line of code has try.
Print,
now
print,
the reason why
except answer quest tricolon
try ahead now. So we have try. The reason why we have try is because of this next line. The next line, Lekon.
Question equals int left paren, input left paren, quote enter a number colon, quote right paren, right paren.
Because of inputs, because of our input inside these statements, it's most likely you put all your inputs inside a try because you're not sure of what the user is going to input. Okay. Now, Lekon, the next line is what?
Answer equals question plus 5.
Now question plus 5. So once the person, obviously, if the person inputs an integer, it's going to run the code correctly. Else it will go into the except block, and we'll say go to the except block. Lekon.
Except colon print.
Yeah, if the user does not have a correct input, it's going to come here. So you're going to say, you're going to print to the screen and tell the user that this your input that you've done is wrong. Go, please type an integer. So let's run the code and see.
Windows power P enter a number colon
So enter a number now. Press 5, normal 5.
5 10 PSC colon PS
It
enter a number
ran
colon
smoothly. So now let's do it again. Now do 7.5.
7 L L dot 5 incorrect input. Please try an integer. P enter a
So
number
you can
colon
see it went into that except block. Says incorrect incorrect input. Please try an integer. Now let's type Lekon.
N incorrect input. Please try an integer. PSC
Incorrect input. Please try an integer. Now the reason why you have all these things, you can see that it did not give you the error. Trace back, most recent call last, this, before you go back. But you're now telling the user, you're giving the user more advice onto how to run your code. Okay? So that's an advice you can, that's the system that you can use when building your application so that the application does not crash. And when your application crashes with all that error, it looks bad on you as a programmer. So when you have that try except, is now more likely to tell the user what to do. Okay? All right, any questions?
Okay, thank you, sir. So with if and while we call them loops, but with this try except, is there any technical name for them? I
Oh,
know
okay,
that.
this is called error handling. Error handling.
So, Prof, I tried.
Yes,
Can you hear me, Prof?
I can hear you.
Okay. I when we or when I did my module 3 assignments, this kind of situation played out, and I was not knowledgeable about try and accept. So what I tried to do was to limit for instance, when I was looking at year, you asked us to put a year and then let the system determine whether it's a leap year or not. Now, in doing
Yes.
that assignment, when I ran my code, it was running well, but I realized that if I put 0, it is also trying to
Calculate.
it's still trying to work.
Yes.
The same thing applied for the other one that have to do with odd. Is it odd number? Yeah, odd number, even number, or something like that. So if I put negative, it is still giving me all of that. So I try to restrict it with the year own by specifying a kind of putting
The range.
if yes, I put
Yes.
more like a range. I put like if year greater than equal to
0. 1.
something exactly 1. So to make sure that you don't put any negative figure, you don't put, because if you put minus 2024, for instance, it will still give you it's a leap year. Without
Yes.
that restriction. So I try to put that restriction to make sure that anything you put in there has to be a positive number which
Number.
expresses year. So I use that restriction, but I was not knowledgeable about this try and accept.
Okay,
Then, but
so
if I knew this, then perhaps I would have used try and accept in that instance.
okay, but the try and accept will not work in this your scenario. Reason being, because integer is integer. The person has put a 0. 0 is an integer. But what you've done by putting the if is a better way. So you can use try and accept for when the person inputs a non-integer, right?
Like for
But
the
then
one
you
for
can
convert C, put C and C and F to convert to Celsius or to Fahrenheit. That one, that is where accept, try and accept would work, right? Somebody goes to put something else. Okay.
Yes, but then you can now restrict your once the person yes, now the person has put an integer, but now you can even tell the person, okay, you put an integer, but your integer should be between one greater than 1.
Right.
So yeah. So that's the way of doing it.
Prof,
Yes.
so in our now work with lists, but one thing I've realized is that mostly we have a finite list, meaning we know or we mostly input something that code retains the last number. So most you have the start value, the value, and then the step value. But in mathematics, especially when you are working with difference and space, you have an instance where you may have an infinite something, even in set. So we may have an infinite something. So how do we input infinite in Python?
You know, I don't know whether I was here, I was talking about this thing or somewhere else. In real life, you need to deal with finite things because the reason why they do all those things in mathematics or the sciences is for just case-based scenarios. But engineering, if you go to engineering, for example, faculty of engineering, they don't deal with infinite things. They deal mostly with finite things. That's why we can build systems. And because systems must work within a set of rules and a set of an environment, right? So in your Python is like an environment within a computer. So unless you want your system to run, or it will run. But, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in a case like Python or most things are finite. You can't really do infinite things inside because obviously you want your code. Now, that being said, if you want to do something infinite, you can say while true and it will run forever. While true, that thing will run forever and ever and ever and ever, right? But even with that, you must still break out of the code by typing exits 5 or something so that the code doesn't run more, but the system will be on. Your servers who are running these things will be on forever, right? But sometimes your servers break down because your materials that you're using are ephemeral, are temporary. Your hard drive will fail. Your memory, you must change your memory. Your screen, your keyboard, all of them fail. So yes, the code is software. Software can run forever, but it runs on a finite or a definite technology, which is your screen, your keyboard, and all those things, right? And with those limitations, they've been trying to see how we can run things forever or in longer time. So what they do is that they have an array of hardware. You have an array of hardware, like you have like 200 computers in what they call a server farm, or what they call the cloud. You have like 500 computers. So everything, all the resources are shared amongst the 500 computers. So in case one computer breaks down, you can just replace that computer or replace the keyboard or replace the, sorry, not really keyboard because most of them are keyboardless and monitorless. They're all just hard drives and memory, in an array. So what you do is just you can change the system, change the fan because your fan might blow out, and that's why you have to have a cooling area. So your software can run forever, but always remember that your software is running on things are temporary, like your
Victor left the call.
oh, I thought this says
Unknown user no longer
Victor
has
left
access
the
to the
call. I
chat.
thought it was me. I didn't know it was
Not you.
the so yeah. So Bismarck, does that answer your question? Always remember that your code can run forever, but they are running on things that cannot run forever.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so
Prof, it's not also a truism, for instance, that in terms of data here, that if you're looking at infinite situation, that
Unknown
it
user has
has to sit
temporarily.
on a database, which in itself can be unlimited to the extent that new data can be imputed. So as more data become imputed, then it becomes known and available for the application to run with. So for instance, take a look at, for instance, a school student database, student maybe mathematics and all of that. You could actually have, an infinite list in your database in such that from year to year, you can be imputing more and more data. And the more data you impute, that becomes available for the system to use, rather than, for instance, creating an unknown infinite. So this is like known infinite. You know that you can be increasing the records, the number of students, and then adding their grades for infinite number of records. I don't know whether I'm making any sense though.
Okay, so like now in the way I'm working now, there's one of the records of the tables that I'm working with. That's 20 million something. So the number of records in that table is already like 20 million, and we've had this system for close to 10 years. Okay, that's even before me working there. When I check the data in the database for their record, it's like 20 million and something, and it's still running every month. They process payroll. The point I'm trying to make is that for databases, you can have you can have many records, but sometimes in the configuration of all these databases like PostgreSQL or MySQL, they have what they call limits, table limits.
Yeah.
So you have to have limits in all these tables so that you don't really, mess up the entire system. Because remember, it's still running on hardware. Your hard drive too has a size. There's no infinite size of hard drive, right? So your hard drive has a size. So what happens if there's a law it put in place after 5 years, you can scrap that person's data. If that person is no more a customer with you, after 5 years, scrap his data. Because you can't just be having data all around, all around, all around, right? That's one. And then two, there's new technology coming out so that they can you can house much more data than previously. Amazon Web Services, for example, has what they call the Amazon Storage S3, which has a way of which has new technology in storing data. They have what they call data lakes. Instead of a database, they call it data lakes. So data lakes are now new ways of storing data, which data engineers use in order to with this new thing of big data, big data. So imagine financial transactions whereby, like banks, for example, school is small now. If you look at banks that you have to do transactions on a minute to minute basis, or the stock market that you have minute to minute, jumps and trading and all of
Or
that, and you're trying to
telecommunications.
or telecoms exactly. So those are big data things, big data, big data. So you will have to have things like instead of having, you might have a database, you might have even multiple databases. You might have what they call data lakes, right? And then you need to have some technology. There's a technology called I think is what's the name of this thing now? Spark, SPARC or SPARK, and then it's now so entrenched into the system now that you now have Spark SQL, which uses SQL into the Spark system. And then you have now what they call PySpark. They even put Python into the Spark, so which makes use of the data frame. So we will learn data frames later. But what happens is that this PySpark gets all this data inside your data lake and processes it and gives it to, like, let's say a data analyst. And the data analyst will now use that data that's gotten from PySpark, which PySpark got from the data lake, right, to make its analysis real time. So the data analyst can now do all those things, or the data scientist. The data analyst is someone, as we all know, that looks and analyzes data that is already known, that is at hand. But data scientists will start making predictions. Okay, we have 20 million customers now. In 5 years' time, we'll have like 70 million customers based on our current growth rates, that kind of thing. So that's what data scientists do. I mean, data analysts can do the same thing, but you need to know some predictive analysis in terms of that, right? So yeah, that's if to answer your question, they have all those technologies that they are using now, and more technologies are coming out.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
Any other question? We're actually out of our time. Any other question before we call it a day?
Probably our next topic. So probably we read around.
I'll send you out the files for the next topic. I think I should have sent it out, but I'll send it out to you so that they'll what do you call it? We'll start looking at that
Upload
topic.
it.
I'm happy with I'm happy with the growth of the class. We'll hopefully that when we do the midweek assignments, I hopefully will see a lot of good code. Now that you've learned this try and accept, you will now use it for your try and accept because you need that when you're running the mid your mid projects. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for participating in